Hello? Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm hoping my connection is good enough out here, but it looks like I see a couple people hopping on. Will someone give me like a thumbs up or a comment if you can see or hear me? It says 12 people are here. Hopefully there's not a huge delay. Okay, hi. Hi, Lindsay. Okay, yay. Alright, well, I'll give you guys a few more seconds to hop on, and then we'll kind of get started here. So, if you need water or anything else, notepad, that's totally your call. I'm probably, I don't know, like, sometimes I feel like I am better at, like, pumping you up than giving you guys, like step by step how to do something. But don't worry, I have homework for you after. Thank you. I did my hair and my makeup for you guys today. Is it better if I'm closer? Maybe I need to. Okay. I'll turn my volume up. Let me try and move my, little, what is this thing called? Tripod closer. But just yell at me. I will try and not look at the comments too much once we get going, so that I don't get distracted and lose my train of thought. These are real problems for me. And I will just try and talk louder. The sound is weird? Okay. I try to do the fashion blogger bun. Okay. But I'm going to jump into it. If the sound is still weird in like a few minutes, I'll go inside. And then it should be better. Okay. I get to talk to you guys about one of my favorite topics, goals. And we are going to talk about when you need to level up a goal, when it is time to crush a goal, when it is time to reset a goal. You know, who do you share these goals with, and how the heck do you make it possible? I think the biggest thing to realize here is that we need to go beyond the goal a little bit, though, and I'm actually even going to talk to you guys about vision and having a vision for your life and how that vision is going to impact your goals and your supporting behaviors. So I want to start off first off by just saying, let's dispel this myth right now that you are going to always hit a goal in this business. Because you're not. I don't. I am guessing that every other 15-star diamond coach that I am presenting with here in this level up group has also missed a goal. Every single one of them. I have set goals in this business, and some I have hit, and most I have missed. And that's just reality. I miss goals all the time. But you know what? If I had never set it, I would have aimed at nothing, and I would have probably hit nothing. So having goals and missing them is just part of the process. And I've learned in this business that it's really hitting failure after failure after failure, and kind of just really not losing my momentum, not, feeling beat down, just like pulling up, my workout capris again and continuing on. And you guys are going to have to do that too. Like, you're going to set a goal in this business, like to hit diamond, or to hit Success Club 30, or to sign 10 coaches this month, and you're going to miss it. You just are. Like, end of story. You're going to miss the goal, and you have two choices. You can either say, I learned from it, and now I know what I'm going to do when I set my next goal, or you're going to say, I don't know, this is like really hard, and I just don't know if I can do this anymore. And I'm feeling like really burnt out, and I'm so stressed. And I just like, I have kids. Have you heard it? Have you been it? I've been it. And it's just, at the end of the day, you really have to come back to what your vision is. Not what the goal is, what the vision is for your life. So that's what I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about today, because we all have things. Like, everyone's got a busy life. We know that. And we can all make excuses about it, but excuses aren't going to get you to the goal, and they're not going to get you the life and the vision that you have for yourself, for your family, for everything. It's one of those things where you just like really have to put on your big girl panties, and you all own them. You wear them when you have your period. Like, you put on your big girl panties and you just get shit done. So it's kind of staying in that mindset all the time. And it's not easy. I've been in this business almost 6 years. That's crazy. But what has pulled me through has been the vision for my life. Not always the goal. The goals change. It's been the vision for my life, and that's been pretty constant. So I don't know if a lot of you guys know my story, but there are some amazing superstar diamonds in here that like did this in 2 years. I did not. I came into this business like with really low expectations. I had no idea what to expect, and I really just, I kind of wanted a discount, and I wanted to help a couple other moms feel better, and I wanted to make $100 a week. That was my goal. Total goal. Like, when I started, that was it. And then I started like watching some stuff in the back office, and I printed out, like, I watched Carl's little video, and I printed out like that getting started right form, and I was like, okay, like, I'm gonna just do this. And I started filling out that getting started right form, and it was like, okay, okay, so my connection was weak. So anyway, I'm like filling out my getting started right form, and it's like, what's your goal in 6 months? What's your goal in 1 year? And I was like, damn, like, this is serious. Like, people treat this like a business. And like, that little entrepreneur in me that was about this big at the time was like, all right, like, I'll play. So in 6 months, I wrote that my goal was to make $500 a week. And at 1 year, my goal was to make $1,000 a week. I had no idea how to hit it. I didn't know what Success Club was. I hadn't signed one coach, and I'd made like 2 sales to 2 friends. And this is what I was writing down for my goals. We were broke. We were living paycheck to paycheck. I put groceries and diapers on credit cards. I was staying at home with 2 little babies. I left my marketing career, in which I earned $27,000 a year. We had credit card debt, student loan, car falling apart. I hated my van. And I was literally like, oh, the only way something in my life is going to change is if I change something in my life. So it was like, okay, well, I'm going to do this Beachbody thing. And I mean, I know it works. I've had results. And I'm just going to do this. And so I wrote down these like crazy huge goals, and I kind of really didn't know how to get there. But as I thought about what my life would look like if I made $500 a week, stuff started to become crystal clear in my head. I mean, you think about it. What does your life look like if you're making, $500 a week? What does it look like if you're making $1,000 a week? Like, I had the goal, but it was like that vision of how life could be different for my family if that changed for us. And, it, for me, and it's different for everyone. For me, I'm very like a measurable girl. So for me, money was measurable. So I totally went with like the income goal because I didn't know what else to go for. Like, I didn't even know what diamond rank was. So I was like, I'll just go for income. And I just started thinking about what this vision for my life looked like. And that really became how some of these goals became real. And I did not hit the $500 a week by 6 months. I did not, by a long shot, hit $900 or $1,000 a week by the end of the year. I didn't. I totally didn't. I wasn't even diamond, you guys. It was one of those things, though, that because I had this vision for what my life would look like if I did those things, because I didn't hit the goal, it didn't matter so much. It didn't matter so much. It was just like, okay, the vision is still here for all of this, but I didn't hit the goal. So I just picked a new goal date, and I kept going. I mean, I knew it was possible. I looked at other coaches around me having success. I was at Summit. I heard their stories. I followed them on social media. Like, they were having success. And so it was like, why not me? Why not me? And so I started to see kind of like this clear path of where I was going. I had this vision, be it income, and I'll get into a couple other examples in a minute, but I started to realize it was like vision. And then there were like these supporting goals and supporting activities, that if I did these supporting activities and I did these supporting goals, that I would hit the vision. And so you can kind of think of it as like a scene in a movie. The scene in a movie is your vision. Like, that's like one vision for your life. And there's all these different scenes. So you might have all these different visions for your life. But it's kind of like a scene in a movie. There's a supporting actor, and there's like a lead actor. So your lead actor is the goal. You know what you want. You know what you're looking to achieve. And there's all these supporting characters, right? You know, goals that you have to hit, like behaviors you have to make that vision real. So I'll kind of give you guys an example. For like so long, we had no money, and like we could pay our mortgage, but it felt tight, and we felt like we were outgrowing our house. We had 2 kids, and I was like tripping over toys, and I wish we lived in a neighborhood, and you know, just had like freedom, and like we could pay our bills, and the credit card debt would like go away. Like I wanted, like, but in my head, I just pictured like this dream home. And we would look at homes online, and we maybe go to like an open house, and I just remember being like, you know, we can't afford this yet. You know, we can't do this. But it was good to have that vision. And about 2.5 years ago, my husband and I were talking about like moving up a level in a house. We were talking about moving up a level. You know, moving out of the starter home and getting a little bit bigger home that we could like live in and enjoy and have a little more space. And we looked at a couple of houses, but none of them felt, I'll speak louder, none of them felt like it. You know what I mean? So I saw there was a home on like open house in our current neighborhood where we moved and built our dream home in. And so there was this home that was going to be open on open house one Sunday afternoon after church. And I said to my husband, I was like, just drive to this address and like, let's go to this house and just check it out. And Jeff's like, where's this house as we're driving? And I was like, it's in River Bluffs. Like, it's just so pretty. Like, let's just go see this house. And literally this, driving through this neighborhood, having Jeff see this house, me seeing this house in person, kind of became like this total vision in my head for what I wanted for my family. I wanted this house. Like, I wanted to be in this neighborhood. This is what I wanted. And so it was definitely like a level or 2 up from where we were. So, like, there was that whole scary part, and, like, could we ever afford something like this? But, like, they don't charge you to go to an open house. You can just go and look. So we just went and looked. And, I mean, you're kind of, like, walking through the house, like, don't stare at, my old purse, whatever. But, like, we were going through this house, and I just remember thinking, like, oh my gosh, like, this is so amazing. And, like, taking all these pictures with my head about, like, this huge open kitchen and, like, this big backyard for my kids. Like, it was like, okay, like, I get the vision. I get the vision. And then I would just, like, secretly, like, every time I left the grocery store, I would drive through this neighborhood. They probably thought I was, like, a stalker. I drove through this neighborhood, and I envisioned what it would look like to drive home to this neighborhood and pull in to, like, my house in this neighborhood before we ever even had the house, before we ever even bought a lot. So a year later, we bought a lot in this neighborhood, and, like, a year later, we started building our dream home. I'm not saying it's just going to be this easy, because there's, like, so you gotta have the vision, right? Then there was, like, all this behind the scenes work, right? That's the thing about being an entrepreneur, and if you don't feel like one, it is time to change your mindset. But I was willing to live a couple of years of my life like most people won't, so later I could live my life like most people can't. You guys can do this too. So I knew, by the time I got to, like, to be a 2-3 star diamond coach, I'm making about $900 to $1,000 a week. And so, my goals grew, my rank goals grew, my income goals grew, like, the things I wanted for my family, they grew. I'm giving you guys instances, visions for what you see. Maybe it's yourself on stage at Summit, maybe it's a home, maybe it's a car, and you could have different visions. There are all these scenes in this movie, right, that's playing out called Your Life. But it's one of those things that, I started to put this together. And so if I had this vision, what are the goals that I needed to hit to make this possible? So the goals started looking like continue to hit Success Club 10. I was already doing it. I needed to continue doing it. I needed to continue to recruit and build my team. Maybe I was recruiting like 8 coaches a month. Say 8 coaches a month. So I needed to continue on that trend. I could up my game. I needed to continue to run, new coach trainings. I needed to continue to work with my coaches that were up and coming or building. I needed to help my coaches hit Success Club, or to hit their rank goals. Their goals became my goals for them. I never pushed my goals on my coaches. It's like, because it's so personal. Your vision is so personal to you. But when you have all of these goals that support your vision, and all of these supporting behaviors that support the goals, that support the vision, like, you can really start to make the tides turn. At the end of the day, you are one small decision away, one small goal away, one small vision away from changing the course of your life. And you have to believe that if you want to see great action in your business, in your life. Like, someone said, we're not human beings, we're human becomings. I think I stole that from Jeff Hill at Summit. But I loved that, because if we are ever changing, if we are ever present in this life, if we are ever growing and getting better and reading our personal development, like, there's no way you're gonna go through life standing still. And if you are, you're missing the vision. You're missing the big picture. For me, like, giving you guys examples like this is really, I think, helpful for you to put it into play for what works for you. But maybe it's leaving a job. Maybe it's more time with your family. Whatever it is. you have to play that vision out in your head. And I'm going to have a worksheet for you guys so you can like start to put it together and build the scenes of your life by like knocking out, you know, what each vision looks like. But I think it's important to remember that at the end of this, you know, all of these moments in your life, all of these visions for your life, we don't always have control over when they happen or how they happen, and they sometimes change. And you have to be okay with that. I think at the end of the day that there is one great creator that knows better than I know, and sometimes he shows me a new way, and that's okay. But it's really fun to think about this business and what it can create. I hope that my story is a little bit of proof. I hope that a lot of the other coaches in here that you guys may follow or your upline that, you know, are showing you what is possible with this business gives you the proof that it's possible for you too, because I followed coaches like Janelle Summers and Mindy Wender, you know, like Michigan-based girls that I related to. I was like, I'm just like her. I'm so shy, or I'm a total introvert, or, you know, I would pick those things and be just like, I mean, I remember following Lindsay Matway and being like, I don't have an upline who's like teaching me and training me. Like, okay, she's doing this, I can do it too. You guys can do it too. So really it comes down to vision, mindset. You gotta believe it's possible. Then you gotta pick those supporting goals and alter those supporting activities. And we haven't spent a ton of time talking about activities, but activities are one of those things that oftentimes it's something you're gonna give up. I'm very goal oriented. So for me, I play like these little games with myself. I work from home, you guys. Like, I have to keep it interesting. But I tell myself, like, okay, you get all your messages done, you know, you get everything done on your to-do list. You can watch The Real Housewives of Orange County before you pick the girls up from school. I'm completely aware it is trash TV. I don't care. It is my brain unplug for the day. And so I will do little things like that, like little goals like that, that will ensure I get my stuff done. I get like this little reward and I move on. It doesn't have to be food. It doesn't have to be shoes. It doesn't have to be a handbag. Like, I get jonesed about watching a TV show. I'm a mom. It doesn't take a lot. You know what I mean? And you can really do this with anything in your life. You know, I find that when I give myself a small goal to work towards, I take that little reward and I keep on going. You can do that with your fitness. You can do it with your business. And when, you know, and it's really powerful, like that visualization, like when you're visualizing the house, you're visualizing like the car that you really want. Do you notice that like you start to see it everywhere? Like as soon as I was like, oh, we want to build a house, we want to build this dream house, we want to put in a pool. I was like on Pinterest. I was like, everyone is building a house, everyone has a beautiful pool. Like, I started to believe it was possible. And same thing, you're driving around town. I remember when I wanted the SUV that I have. It was like all of a sudden, everywhere I looked, there was that SUV. It's not like all of a sudden there were more Infinity SUVs on the road. No, I just became more acutely aware. There it is. That's what I want. And your brain goes to that. I think it's really, really interesting. The kind of powerful imagery you can have yourself connect to your vision and to your goal. So the worksheet I have for you guys is really simple. I'll post it up along with an assignment when we're done here. But you can have a vision for all sorts of different things. Fitness, business, family, faith. They all play out into being a whole person. You're not just business all day long. But sorry, I got caught off by a, see, I can't look down. Okay, so, but you'll be able to kind of put this together and put it somewhere that you can see it, revisit it, pay attention to it, and I feel like when you do that and you're in it every minute, you have no choice but to succeed. You have no choice but to run after those goals. You have no choice but to make that vision become a reality. So I'll share with you guys one little fun one, because I remember when I was a branding coach, I hate cleaning my house. I hate cleaning my house, you guys. I suck at it. I don't like dusting. I don't like vacuuming. I don't like laundry. I don't like anything like that at all. But I had to do it because we couldn't afford to hire someone to do it. So one of my first business goals, once I started treating this like a business and I was making, my $100 a week, was to be able to hire a housekeeper, a cleaning lady, someone who could do the things I hated and kind of sucked at, so that I could focus that time back on working my business instead of scrubbing toilets, which I also hate. So I decided that, once I made enough, and I think that I remember being at that $300, $350 a week mark and going, okay, now we've got enough money that I feel comfortable. I can pay for the groceries, I can pay for my girls' extra activities, and we're paying down some debt. I am going to go for the housekeeper, because those 4 or 5 hours she's going to spend mopping my floors, cleaning my toilets, and doing my laundry, I can spend working. And that to me was a sound investment. In the beginning of my business, I could let all that stuff go all week, because when she came, it was on. Carmen got to work, and she's still with me 3.5 years later. She got to work, and I got to work, and it was the best investment in my life. That vision, I was just I seriously saw someone cleaning my house. I was this has gotta happen, and it took the stress off of me as a mom, as a housewife. I had guilt for about this long, about having someone else do those activities, but honestly, it gave me more time. Instead of, spending the night cleaning my kitchen and cleaning bathroom floors, I was hanging out with my family. For once, my house was clean, and I could enjoy it, and I could breathe a sigh of relief and be with my family, because being with my family more, having more time, more quality time with my family was tops on my list. That was one of the visions for my life, was just more family time and feeling less stressed around more family time. Having my husband home more. He worked so much, you guys. So to be able to have him home more and have him not stressing about being at work, that was amazing. So the last thing I will share with you, because you have to realize once that vision becomes true. So I got the pool, right? I got the pool. You have to keep going. You have to continue to set new goals. And, they come with all of, they come, the new vision comes with new goals and new activities, and that's what keeps me in this business almost 6 years later, fresh and on it and working. And if you're not constantly coming up with something new, what do you have to work for? So for me, currently, for us, we want a home in the Caribbean, because I'm obsessed with the ocean, and my husband says we can't live there full time. So that means I have this whole vision in my head about this like a home in the Caribbean on the ocean, and it's probably a condo to start. I don't care, so I don't want to take care of a lawn. But like that's what I think about, and I think about the supporting goals that I know need to get me there, and I know that that means, you know, working, you know, 2 nights a week. I know that that means Success Club 10. I know that that means continuing to add to my team. I know that that means I probably want to be like 2-star in my third CBC, and I want to be a solid 5-star, you know, or 6-star, 7-star in my second CBC. Like I start to like get clear cut and outline like the goals, and then those supporting behaviors, right? Like I know that I cannot watch Island Hunters until I get my work done on HGTV. If you guys aren't watching Island Hunters, you know, you pick the show that speaks to you right now, right? I'm like, I watch Island Hunters because I want a home in the islands. So I think it's so fun to like have that vision and then just find a way to go after it. Because if you're not constantly growing, you're just standing still. So it's really fun to pick a vision, get excited about it, and go after it. I see so many coaches, like, they're afraid to share a goal. Share a goal, who cares? If you don't hit it, it's okay. Like, share the vision. I remember talking on social media, like, scary, a couple of like over a year ago about this vision I had of buying a home in the Caribbean, and people were like, do it, like that would be so amazing. I don't have a home in the Caribbean yet. I kind of feel like I created a little bit in my backyard. I don't have a home in the Caribbean yet. You know, no one else is really keeping track of your goals and your vision but you. And it's okay for it to change, and it's okay for you to hit it late, and it's okay for you to move a deadline, and it's okay for it to not happen today or tomorrow or even next year. Don't feel like just because you declare a goal out loud to me or to your upline or on social media for everyone to see that all of a sudden all the pressure's on. Yeah, there's some pressure. Like, you want to make it happen. It's like this vision, and you want it to come true. You want it to become reality. But life happens. You're on your own timetable. As long as you keep hitting and setting those supporting goals that are going to make that vision happen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't feel like sacrifice. It doesn't feel like it's never going to happen. It doesn't feel like you got to hit it in 6 months or it's just going to go away forever. As long as you're working towards something, you will always have a good time working this business. You will always have something to go after. It's not about when you hit the goal. It's not about, you know, having the perfect goals. It's just about having goals, being flexible on your methods, on how you're going to hit it, when you're going to hit it. But as long as you're clear cut on that vision for you, for your family, like what that life looks like in 6 months or a year, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, like what you see, and I found this so crazy, what you see, that vision for your life, you can make it happen. And then you're just going to get those supporting goals lined up and those activities. And I promise you, if you just keep running after it and don't give up, you can be anywhere you want to be. It all starts in here, though. Mindset is everything. What you give power to will become. So thank you guys for hopping on. I will post the assignments when I'm done. And I wish you guys nothing but the best, like the biggest visions for your life. Whatever you believe you can truly achieve. I hope that if you say that enough and you believe it enough and you think big enough and you're constantly focused on that vision for your life, for you and your family, you can make anything happen. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this amazing group. It has been awesome, and I will talk to you later. If you have any questions or anything, I'll go back and read I'll read through and respond to what I can. But thank you guys for being on, and I hope you go out there and really craft some amazing visions and supporting goals and activities for everything in your life. Make it one amazing movie, because it's yours. Bye, guys.